guys, my name is Juliet Ambali and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. If this is not your first time, you already know that it means the world to me that I see you time and again here. God bless you real good. So today I'm going to be talking about a very beautiful and interesting and very applicable topic. And this topic came about as a result of a meeting that I had with some group of ladies on WhatsApp on the subject of, can I marry myself, or will I marry me if I'm right about it? I'll put the exact title here: will I marry me, or can I marry me? Something in that line anyway. And so one of the things that I talked about during the process of that conversation or program was the need for the ladies or women to get into what I term the Esther's preparation season. Okay, now if we remember very well, Esther in the Bible, Queen Esther, before she eventually met the king and got married to the king, she had to undergo certain processes. And so from my look into the book of Esther, I realized that these processes that she went through are very important, and they are things that are very applicable even in our time here as Christian women, Christian young ladies, and for Christian young ladies who are looking at getting married. Even for married women, it's still something that can be applicable within the context of your marriage. And so today I'm going to be addressing this topic, especially in relation to single sisters, so that I pray that by the special grace of God, you can see one way or the other in which you can use these things to apply to your life. And believe me when I say that this is a very life-changing thing. Thank you so much for watching. So we'll start with the first point. So I'll read from the book of Esther to first introduce us to the first point. And it's in Esther chapter 2 from verse 3. So it says, "And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of this kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace, to the house of the women, unto the custody of Hage, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things for purification be given them." So now the first point that I talked about, well, this question actually came about because somebody asked the question privately. These processes, I didn't have the time to be able to break it down to them in that group. I only mentioned it to them, and I think I gave an overview, so I didn't give it in detail. So I'm hoping that one way or the other they're able to watch this video and get the details of this topic. So this verse specifically mentions something that is very important: purification. Now, before you're even thinking or considering getting married or meeting the right person or being in a relationship with the right person, for yourself as an individual, and because I'm referring to ladies now, as a lady, as that single lady who is looking to someday get married to somebody, the first step that you should take for yourself, and not necessarily because you want to get married to somebody, but for yourself and for the need to have that relationship with God, is to start with what I refer to as the purification process. And the purification process here simply entails getting saved from your life of sin. You cannot do marriage with the eye view of this sinful world. I promise you, it can never be a walk in the park. Even if you say, okay, I think I have an idea what it is to be married. It's not just to love this person. It's not, but you can't do these things, quote and unquote, effortlessly with your flesh. The first thing that you need to start with is the purification process, and which is the salvation of your soul. You need to be sure that you have that relationship with God where, in total, in every sense of the word, you are pure. You are free from sin and from sinful nature and from everything that is ungodly. You are free from that carnal nature, from the flesh. You are free from the struggles of the flesh. That's basically the first step that you need to take. Once you can get this step taken care of, I promise you that's like the foundation for any other thing you can imagine. So the first step you need to take is to ensure that you begin with the purification process, getting saved from your life of sin. It's not about you being morally upright. It's not about you having been a good girl all your life. No, it's not about that. But it's about being genuinely born again. That's the starting phase for anything that has to do with you ensuring that someday in future you have that beautiful godly relationship that you want. Now, the second point is from verse 9. the same chapter, Esther chapter 2, verse 9, and it says, "And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her her things for purification, with such as belonged to her." Let me stop there for now. So the point that I got here has to do with character, has to do with the heart posture as a lady, as a young woman, or as a single lady, regardless of how old you are, has to do with the heart posture. Being that lady that can attract favor to yourself, or to yourself rather, that can, just by people looking at you, just by people having conversations with you or interacting with you, you just find favor in their sight. Because of what? Because of your heart posture. Now, this is another key thing or key area to work on if you have marriage in view. It's important that your heart posture is one of humility, is one that brings favor to your way, is one that brings men's approval your way, and more importantly, God's approval your way. Okay, so it's very important that you check your heart posture. Your heart posture is the inner part of what reflects your character, of what reflects who you are, who people can see, the attitude that you show, the things that you do. Okay, so it's important that your heart posture is in that space where it can ooze out, it can bring out beautiful things, so that you find favor inside of people and inside of God. And this can actually happen from the second stage of grace, which is called sanctification of your soul. Once you are sanctified, God will help you work on your heart posture, will help you work on removing that root nature of sin from your heart, so that your character is just the most beautiful thing yet, regardless of your outlook on the outward, whether you've had one issue or the other, whether you have scars, whether you have blemishes and what have you physically. But people can't even see those things because the inner beauty is radiating. And so as a result of that, you are favored, you find favor inside of everyone that you meet. Okay? It's the same way that you find the suitable person. Okay, you find the person who, not if you, in this situation, you even find a lot of people who want to be married to you just because of your heart posture. Okay? And in that line, God will now direct you as to who is best for you to be married to. Okay, so it's very important that you ensure that your heart posture is in the right place that it should be, with the help of God. Now, for the third point, I'll keep reading the other part of verse 9, and it says, "With such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens." So these were the things that were given to her. She was also given 7 maidens, which were meet to be given her out of the king's house, and he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women. So now the point that I got from this last part of verse 9 is the importance of having people around us to help us. So these 7 maidens signify to me people who are like support system. Even as a single lady, you need support systems of different sorts, especially mentors. You need people who are godly mentors, who can guide you and direct you from their own experiences and with the word of God, so that you can make the right decisions as you keep navigating this path of your singlehood towards getting married. But these 7 maidens were really significant in her life, and so it is that it's important that you prayerfully look out for people who will represent these 7 maidens in your life, people who would serve as mentors, people who will dare to help you whenever you need any form of help. So it's important that you understand that you cannot do it alone. You need role models, you need people whose life reflect the kind of life that you hope to someday live, and who will show you how these things are. These 7 maidens are probably people who already knew the king, who already knew so many things about the process of the palace or what obtains there. And Esther, being oblivious of these things, would have gotten so much help from them. So it's very important that you have this in mind and ensure that you prayerfully get mentors who will be there to put you through certain things in the process of this journey. Now, for the sake of this video, I'd like to stop at this last point, which is in verse 11. And it says, "And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her." Now, this part is almost like the last part I just talked about. It's important that you are accountable to somebody. You have somebody that will keep checking on your growth to see how you are improving, to see what you are becoming. Okay, you don't just assume that you're growing because you are doing certain things, but let someone be accountable to somebody that will keep checking and keep observing to see, okay, if there's any form of positive growth or if there are areas that you need to improve upon and what have you. And I'm sure that by the special grace of God, if you're intentional about these things, if you even you can map out a plan as to how to go about these things and make it a journey. Okay, make it a season indeed. Make it like a retreat, but you're not necessarily retreating from your everyday life, because the things that you do every day are part of the things that would help you grow and help you prepare in this season. But in yourself, you know that you are in the process of working upon, you're in the process of growing, you're in the process of being reformed and being prepared for this season of your life. And I'm hoping that by the special grace of God, God will take charge of everything that concerns you and will help you in this season. And that these lessons that Queen Esther, or Esther before she became a queen, has been able to pass on to us, that by the special grace of God, the Holy Spirit will interpret it in different ways for us, in ways that will be applicable in our lives as individuals. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. God bless you real good. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.